Okay, this is what my journey looked like. Instinctively, I knew when I was about 16. And ironically, I figured it out when I was having sex with my girlfriend. Something said, you know what? Don't release. And I went with it. I was like, okay, I won't release. And I didn't release. And I noticed afterwards, I was like full on, okay? Because I had the contrast before of releasing. This time I didn't release. See, when I would release, I would have this kind of pseudo sense of like I was relaxed, but really I was a little more dull. Okay. I'm not against or I'm not telling people like when you have sex, like don't release. That's not what this is about. I'm just telling you my experience. It's contingent upon many factors, the strength of your nervous system and your genetics and your health situation, so many things. If your genetic constitution's a bit more strong by nature, you're not going to feel so bad if you release when you're with your girlfriend. I mean, you're getting energy from her. It's okay. I'm just telling you the story, my story. So I figured out when I didn't release, I didn't have to eat or sleep, basically, at least for the next, several hours. And I was like, damn, I'm getting energy from her. I'm not losing my energy. And so then that's why I'm not having to eat or sleep so much, because why do we eat and sleep? For energy. Well, I'm getting energy from the sex. It's like, damn, can I use sex as the new food? Tried that later when I was in Thailand with massage girls, but it didn't work. There has to be love between the man and the woman. So I realized that, but I didn't pay, I was young still, so I would still do the PMO and all that. And then what happened though? I went to the SRF ashram. Yogananda, Paramahansa Yogananda has an ashram in Escondido, California. I stayed there for 3 months. There was no girls there, just guys. And I was away from LA and downtown Hollywood with all the billboards, with the sex-selling images and just prostitutes on the street. Whoa, what a breath of fresh air to be away from that. And I noticed there's no internet, nothing, so I wasn't watching anything like that. And I also wasn't masturbating because I was working all the time. We're out in the field and growing fruits and vegetables and just busy all the time. So that's when I became and then studying his teachings, he would talk a bit about it, not enough though. So then I had to end up leaving the ashram because I have this long occurring neck situation. I couldn't handle the work anymore. It was like hurting my spine. So I'm like, what am I going to do? And the cook at the ashram told me there's a healer in Brazil. So I went to go see him. And then I met a girl there, and instinctively it kicked in this memory I had when I was 16, because we would be playing around and she was kind of teasing me. She's like, okay, you can kind of put it in, but don't but not for long, just for a minute. There's a real tease, right? But then I like flipped it. I'm like, cool, this is what I don't want to release anyway. And so and that messed her. It was fun. For me, it was fun. And then I realized I took it to the next level then. Well, first I realized, usually when I was with the girl and we had that kind of chemistry, when I would go home, I would start like self-obsessing. I would obsess about her. I would feel some attachment and stuff, and it was just always heavy. And then if she didn't give me the right attention, then I thought she didn't like me anymore, and then I'd feel sad, all that. But then I realized when I wasn't releasing my energy, I didn't have that. I was more in my inner strength. I think I told you, I called my mentor up at one point and told him about it. I said, I figured it out, man. I figured out how to not get attached to girls. Don't have sex with them. He's like, well, what's the point of being with them then? He didn't understand this level, but I understood it. So then I started thinking now about to stop the masturbating. I'm like, well, maybe I should just stop that too. So then I stopped that. Then I was really full on it. I'm like, it's too much energy. Like we all know, and a lot of you share. So then I would be like you too. I would have I'd go a couple weeks, then I'd have to release, then I'd go a month, I'd have to release, and then whatever. You just work it. You just work it. That's why I tell you guys, you just work it. You fall down, you get back up, and you work it. Don't worry about it. So I continued trying to build these streaks. Finally, I got the streak going. I was like, I'm not gonna release no matter what. But then it transferred into edging. That's why I made a video once, something like, the longer you go on semen retention, the stronger your tendency to edge is gonna be, because you got all this energy and it's not being sublimated. Thoughts, fantasies, everything are keeping the energy down still. That's why you have your wet dreams and all that. So I would edge like crazy because I wasn't releasing. So I started doing the Taoist thing. I would I would arouse myself, get close 90%, and then I'd stop and lock it, okay? And I would just do that over and over again. I'd do it watching stuff on the internet and not. Didn't matter. Fantasies, that can get you going, anything. So I did that for years, you know, even though I wasn't releasing, I was doing that. So technically you're still burning some ojas. Not to mention it will destroy your nervous system after a while. It can take some years, but it'll happen. So then I realized, like, you know what? Because I was like hurting myself down there because I was doing it so much. It would like burn when I urinate, and so I'm like, I need to stop doing that. So then the energy, again, it still has to express. I just turned into, like, I was so addicted to getting female hits of validation and attention. That's all I did, because I was overseas, so it was even better. In America, you know, I mean, that works for you actually. If you're in America, it's probably easier. It's a lot easier. If I was in America back then, I could have been celibate easy. Which is, yeah. See, I was in Asia and India and Thailand and Bali and China and everywhere. And so I would go to places where there wasn't a lot of girls, in Brazil and whoa, yeah, careful, Brazil. And then I would get all this attention. I would just milk it. I couldn't get enough. I'd spend all day and night just getting it, just everywhere I went. Attention. You give me attention? Thank you. Okay, hey, you can get attention? Okay. And that's all I do. That's all I would do. The beach, everywhere, just attention. Try to get game so I can get attention. And that went on to like probably late 30s. And then I realized that was burning out my nervous system too, you see? Because then I realized the importance of dopamine. If we keep stimulating this dopamine center in our brain and we keep doing that drug, it's like any other drug, it's gonna burn your nervous system out after a while. Because it's excessive, the body can't take it, you know? And if you already have a sensitive nervous system, then it's even more important to not do it. So then I'm like, I gotta stop this. But I'm like, oh, I can't stop it. Uh-oh, what am I gonna do? I can't get rid of this lust and this just obsession in being controlled by this sexual energy. I don't want to waste the energy because I know the benefit of not wasting it, but I can't stop edging, which technically I'm still wasting it. I'm still burning up some ojas. What am I going to do, God? Like, I can't stop. Something surrendered at that point. This is why I share a lot in my videos about the necessity of finding your power that's higher than willpower. You can say you got to connect with the God power. Something surrendered because I saw clearly I couldn't stop this. When I surrendered, I had access to this power, this greater power. And then I started to build a relationship with that. I started to give it the credit for helping me. I wasn't taking the credit. I already made a video actually, I didn't upload it yet, about the semen retention danger can make your ego. Don't give it to the ego. Don't think, oh, I did it. Because you'll mess up at some point. So I started. That's why we got to get a little spiritual. That's why I started to have a relationship with this power. I started to know the difference between mind power and spiritual power. And so I would try to tune myself with this power, this spiritual power. and let it guide me, let it carry me, let it do things for me, let it purify my mind, let it show me what I'm supposed to do and not do, and ask it for strength to help me do the things I know I should do. A lot of us know what we should do, but we don't have the power to do it. That's the problem. Mental power is only good so far, you know. But if you want to talk about the heavyweights, and Jesus and Buddha and Krishna and Muhammad, etc., you think they were just using their mind power? No, they were dialed in. You see, so they're good examples. For there's many, but that became the most important thing in my life. I want that power to guide my life. I want to give up my goals, my ideas, what, you know, how to be cool, how to be confident. I just give all that up. This power, you do for me what I can't do for myself, because I can't do it. I tried to manage my life, and I couldn't do a very good job. There'd always be problems. Boom, spiritual practice was born. And so that's my, and then I became free of all that. The PMO, the edging, everything. Now, am I perfect? Is there a tendency that never arises? If I see, you know, a good-looking girl or something, am I not going to look? That's natural. You don't stop being a man. But it's like curtailed. It's not, you're not overzealous about it anymore. You're not doing it in a way that makes you lose your inner bearing. Let the masculine energy play, let it do its thing. But when you stay grounded in your true power, it's fine. You don't get into trouble, you know. And if you feel like low one day or down or something, does the idea come like the old addict mind will send a thought, well, you can look at something on the internet, that'll make you feel better, or go outside, get G'd up, go outside, get some attention, that'll give you a hit. Do those old tapes still sometimes try to play? Yeah, they can try to play, but it happens so less now. Because when you stop listening to them and stop acting out on them, they start to die. It's like you're not feeding them anymore with your attention and by acting out. So they start to die. It's like in any habit. You stop doing something, it starts to die. It's gonna fight for its life for a while. It's gonna be really hard and strong. It's gonna try you, but that's what makes us stronger. We need that. We need that friction in our life so that we grow and we transcend and we start to wake up to our true nature. Go see my other channel, Spiritual Renaissance, if you want to hear about spirituality. Also, I do private consultations. If you want one, my email is on the banner. And that's it. Have a good day, and leave me any questions you have, okay? And I'll try to answer them on the YouTube page. See you later.